Hi, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nick, and today I'm going to talk about some of the things that I love about calisthenics. I'm going to go through them from the most common reasons I hear to the ones that I don't hear people talk about very often, so make sure to stick around to the end to hear what those are. Just before I get started, I wanted to make a disclaimer and let you guys know that this isn't a video that's meant to be disrespecting people that prefer the gym or other methods of working out. This video is just a little project that I wanted to make to share some of the things I really enjoy about calisthenics. Jumping right into it, the first thing that I love about calisthenics is how convenient it is. You don't need to travel anywhere, and you also don't have to pay any extra or ongoing costs. So, for example, working out other places, you'd need to commute to get to equipment or to get to the place you work out. But with calisthenics, you can work out from your home or outside at a park, wherever you are, with whatever you have, because all you need is your body and a bit of an open space. If you want to do something like pull-ups, then you still need something to hang from, but you overall need very minimal equipment and can always find something to do as long as you have a little bit of free space. The other thing that's really convenient about it is that there's no ongoing cost. It's not just gyms, but lots of other programs or coaching or just other things that require more supervision often have ongoing costs or memberships. But calisthenics, you can entirely teach yourself, and you don't need any extra equipment or any, ongoing costs. You do need, if you don't have access to something to pull on easily, you might need something to pull on, and maybe some other basic equipment like bands. But once you get that, that's really all you need, and then you're pretty much set for your whole journey. Back to the point of traveling, it's especially convenient for people who would struggle to commute to somewhere where there's equipment, or for people who are busy and don't have time to commute. During my later years of school, I often found myself bogged down in schoolwork, and it was so handy being able to just walk downstairs, go outside into our backyard and do a workout. I didn't need to think about traveling or how I was going to get places, and it really removed a lot of the friction that was between me and getting to work out, because I was just able to walk outside and then, walk downstairs and then able to work out there. The next thing I really love about calisthenics is how low the barrier to entry is. Now, this point kind of builds on the first two, but because you don't need to travel and there's not much cost associated with it, calisthenics is something that's widely available to almost everyone immediately, regardless of your age, gender, or location, or finance. This makes it, a very easy community to become a part of and something very easy to start in. And on top of that, things like push-ups, while form is important, as long as you're doing them carefully and have done a little bit of research into how to do it, there's minimal risk when starting, since you're using your body as the resistance. It's really easy to know when you're pushing yourself too hard, and avoid overstressing yourself. This combined, with the fact that there's not many costs associated and that you don't need to travel, it just means that overall calisthenics is super easy to start. If you're watching this video right now and haven't done it before, you could pause the video, go outside, do push-ups, and then you've done calisthenics. There's really nothing stopping you from starting, which is something that I really loved about it. Just because personally, when I wanted to get into working out, one of the biggest things that would always stop me is I'd tell myself I didn't have the time, and I didn't want to commute, or I didn't have the money. And if you're in school and don't have a job, then not having the money is a very real problem. So I just love how calisthenics is so accessible to everyone, no matter where they are. The next thing I really enjoy about calisthenics is how cool it looks and how cool it feels. At the start, it is definitely a struggle, in terms of, just learning the basics. It's a bit of an exponential curve. It starts off easy, it gets really hard, and then it gets a bit easier. The skills themselves don't get too much easier. It's more so that you just get into the flow of things and you start to understand how to learn and get better at calisthenics, and also how to build better workouts that get you further. But once you get past that initial bit, calisthenics looks and feels amazing. There are a few things that I've done that are more satisfying and gratifying than unlocking new skills in calisthenics. Recently, I just got my first few really solid archer push-ups, and that was an amazing feeling. And working towards a handstand push-up currently, every time I reach a new milestone, it's just something that's so exhilarating. It also looks really cool, depending on if you're like when you're watching the video, if you've seen much calisthenics before. People can do crazy things, handstand push-ups, planches, levers, and they do the crazy stunts with pull-ups on the bars. It just looks really cool. And from experience, learning new skills and getting to do that sort of stuff is really awesome too. So yeah, it's just looks awesome and is fun. Moving on to the next point, I think it builds confidence, because with calisthenics, you're not relying on anything else or anyone else. It's just you and your body. And I think something about that and showing up day after day really helps to build some sort of confidence in you. Um, it doesn't necessarily translate to all areas of life. Like I'm still learning to talk to a camera, but it just helps you feel more confident about yourself and also in yourself. And from that, I've found a lot of joy, and that's brought me a lot of happiness just because I feel less insecure. And I guess, yeah, just more confident, which is nice. Next, we're going to move into the kind of last three things that I really love about calisthenics that I'm going to cover in this video. And these are kind of less common things that I don't really hear people talk about, but I still think are really amazing. So the first one is how it makes learning exciting. I know personally going through school, by the time you get to your last few years, you kind of start to lose interest in learning a bit. Well, not necessarily learning, but just school. But because school's associated with learning and that's what we've been doing forever, it can just start to feel a bit mundane. But when you get into calisthenics, you get to start learning in a whole new way. It's all practical, it's all hands-on, and there's no one telling you what to do or how to do it, which I guess, depending on how you look at it, could be a downside. But for me, it was amazing because it meant when I went to do my workouts, I could do what I knew, and every time I found something I didn't know, during a break between sets or reps, I could just research it and find the answer and experiment. And I just found that playful element to be so enjoyable, and just being able to learn as you go without any pressure to succeed on the first try. And that's a really important lesson that I learned from calisthenics is that you're never going to get something right on the first try. So the best thing to do is make as many attempts as possible in a short amount of time, and learn as much as you can. Because every time you fail, you learn something and then can do better the next time. So really something that I've learned from that is that if you don't succeed at what you're trying to do, you haven't failed, you've just learnt. And then the only time you ever fail is when you give up on what you're trying to do. So yeah, that's something that I've really enjoyed about calisthenics is that it's made learning a lot more enjoyable for me. And I really look forward to my workouts when I find something that I'm not sure of because it means I get to explore deeper into it and learn more about it. This kind of builds on the point that I made about improving your confidence, is that with calisthenics, there's really not much, I don't experience any social pressure or fear of judgment. I guess, yeah, because when you're doing calisthenics, you're alone and you don't need to be any centralized place with equipment that other people go. And what that means is that you can really just focus on yourself and kind of learning and making yourself stronger. And there's no sort of, I guess, barrier or mental block in going, and because you don't need to worry about being judged, and you don't need to worry about feeling any social pressure, because calisthenics can be a completely solo activity, which is awesome. For some people, this may be a downside, people that enjoy working out with others. And to that, I'd say that you can just work out with friends. You can meet up somewhere, meet up at a park or at someone's house and do a calisthenics workout together. If you're starting out, it might be a bit awkward to begin with, or more awkward than going somewhere else. But I've seen lots of people do it. I'm yet to do it myself, but would like to. Yes, that's definitely something you can do too. But I personally really enjoy how the fact that you can just do it by yourself means it takes away all of the social pressure and it takes away all the fear of being judged, and you can really just work on you for yourself. And it's just really nice because I find it to be quite peaceful and enjoyable getting to kind of just do it alone and work on yourself. The final reason I wanted to mention in this video was that I love calisthenics because it helps you get in touch with yourself. Like I mentioned in the last point with no social pressure, being able to do calisthenics alone and often in quiet places really just lets you get back in touch with yourself and your own thoughts. Often in day-to-day life, it's really hard, and we don't notice it, but it's really hard to just get a moment to think to ourselves. We're always doing something, talking to someone, and when we do end up with free time, we end up playing games or scrolling on social media. So I found calisthenics really just gives me time to disconnect from all of that, and kind of get back to me. And I always find at the end of the calisthenics session, I'm feeling really energized, and in control of my thoughts. Just because during that time where there's less stimulating things happening, I can just focus on the workout, and my brain can just kind of wander and do what it needs to do, which I really, really enjoy. Since I started doing calisthenics, I've found that, yeah, I feel a lot more connected to myself, and I'm kind of more aware of what I want and what I need. So that's been really great. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to cover in this video. Just wanted to do kind of more of a freestyle video, I guess. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing what I really love about calisthenics. If you think I missed anything, or if there's anything that you love about calisthenics that I didn't mention, feel free to leave a comment and let me know below. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye.